Yo, what's up guys? I'm coming to you today with my boy Baby Heels, and we have a doozy of a video for you. One of the things I've had requested is people want to see a full stream setup from start to finish. We're gonna throw, that's right, we're gonna throw everything in it. And so this is actually gonna be a two-part video. This part is gonna be all the OBS, and of course, this being a Dr. Heels video, we're gonna jump into Canva, and we're gonna make all of our stream designs in Canva on this video. So if you wanna learn how to do your starting soon, be right back, full screen, and game scene, all in Canva and in OBS, yes, that's a microphone, then this is gonna be the video for you. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss. All right, he's leaving, okay. All right, well, he abandoned the video, but I'm still with you. All right, this video is gonna cover all of that. Make sure you hang out all the way to the end. We're even gonna do a transition at the very end of the video. So hang out for that one and stay tuned, and make sure you're subscribed for part 2, where we go through all the stream elements and all the extra little details, maybe some of the plugins that I use and the filters. We're gonna dive into all of that to really make your stream unique. With all that said, let's get into it. Oh boy, today's video is one for the record books. One of my biggest requests has been to set up a stream from start to finish. And in true Dr. Heels fashion, we're gonna do that. But not only we're gonna do that, but we're also going to create all the stream designs we need in Canva in this video. So if you wanna know how to set up a stream for the very first time or just completely remake your own, this is the video for you. Let's get into it. One more thing before we get started, if you ever want to hang out with me, see how I do all this stuff live, I stream over on Twitch every Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'm a late night guy, so I stream 11 p.m. Central Time to about 2 a.m. So if you are a night owl, hey, come hang out sometime. Maybe we can get in some games and chat for a bit. All right, with that said, the very first thing we're gonna need is OBS. Now this is going to be all using just stock OBS. I'm not even using StreamElements OBS. I'm not using Streamlabs OBS. I am just using OBS Studio. That's it. It's my preference. That's what I like to use. And this is it. I'll make sure I have it linked down below if you guys want the fresh download, the fresh install. That's what we're looking at right here. Okay, very first thing I want to do is I am going to make sure all my settings are correct. So I'm just gonna go and start off, and I'm just gonna hit settings right here, and I'm gonna start off at the very beginning, okay? So under general, literally the only thing I would change is maybe I would change the theme if I wanted it to look different, and you'll kind of see what that did. And you know what? We'll actually roll with, I think Ocre is the purple one. There we go. We'll roll with this one just so it actually looks different than my normal OBS, but you guys can choose to change this or not. That's literally up to you. Okay, next thing I'm gonna do is I would jump into stream. I would go to Twitch, and then I would connect it to my account. So I'm just gonna click connect account. It's gonna come up, it's gonna want me to authorize Twitch, or I guess YouTube or Facebook, wherever you guys stream. You would go and authorize that right there, and set that up. I'm not, because I have a main OBS setup that I'm already using literally to record this video. So no point in setting up a second one for me, but you would just connect it to your Twitch account. If you have any issues with this, join my Discord and tag me and say, you know, I'm having trouble, and I'll help you get that set up. All right, next thing we're gonna jump into is output. Now this is where we actually do have some settings to change. Now, personally, I used to dive into advanced and really get into this, and I promise there are tons and tons of videos in advance and stuff that'll show you how to set this stuff up. I really don't do that anymore. So really all I do is I set my bitrate to about 3,000 to 3,500, and I'll stream, and if it feels, if people are saying they're getting a lot of buffering, or if there's issues like that, I'll lower it. If it seems like I can go up, then maybe I'll go up just a little bit at a time, but at this point I'm not partner, and so I don't have transcoding every time, so I don't want to bump it up to 6,500 and no one be able to watch the video. I keep it pretty medium, about 3,000 to 3,500. That's just where I'm at. I really don't touch I keep my encoder at NVENC because I have an RTX graphics card and it has NVENC in it, so I'm just gonna roll with that. My audio bitrate, I don't touch, guys. This kind of stuff, you can look up other videos on the show to set it up. This is just how I do mine. For my recording, because I do record videos a lot, I do have a folder set up just to record my videos. And do that, you can go to Browse, and of course, you know, navigate to whatever folder you want it to be and select that folder. Recording, high quality medium file size, sure. Recording, and always record in MP4. I think it's FLV that comes stock, but then you have to transcode it to get it back into like MP4. I just record an MP4 and go with it. Okay, there's other ways to do it, I promise, I don't do it. And encoder, I still go with NVENC encoder. And so there we go, that's all I do for my output. Jumping down to audio, main thing is we want to make sure our mic is connected, and so I know my mic is the Scarlett 2i2, and you'll notice if I drag this over here, if I apply it, we should start to see, there we go, we should start to see something bouncing, something happening. And yes, I think that is about it. I'll leave this at default for now. Next, if we go to the video tab, we'll see a few different settings. Now it says our base canvas resolution at 1920 by 1080, and so I would go with this because that is the size of my monitor. My resolution is actually 1080, so that is my base resolution. Now if I was having trouble streaming at 1080, I could actually lower my output resolution, so what is actually going to Twitch or YouTube or wherever I'm streaming, just by clicking on this, and I can go and choose if I want to go down to 720, and go all the way down to 540 or 480, or you see 390, 360 if I want to. If I have to go that low, I absolutely can. Usually most people have to go maybe down to 720. I know a few people have seen luck doing like 810, which is a little higher quality than 720. But anyway, you would go here, and again, there are plenty of videos online. I'm not going to go in great detail, but if you have over 10 uploads, you should be fine streaming at 1080/60, which is what I stream at with about 15 to 20 upload. But if you're having trouble streaming at 1080/60, you can always try to drop it down to say 30 frames a second, and that will require less upload speed than going 1080/60. For me, I'm going to go 1080/60. All right. Hotkeys, I'm not going to set up any of these yet, but if I don't have a Stream Deck, this is where I would set up all my hotkeys. I know whenever I didn't have a Stream Deck, I would use my keys like my home, end, page up, page down. Any of those keys that I wouldn't normally use, I would use them to do things like switch scenes and mute things. But this is where you would set all of that up. For instance, if you wanted to set switch scene, say our scene is our main scene, I could click it and just tap home, and now every time I press home, it'll take me right back to my main scene. So that is just a little hack. That is a little hack if you don't have a Stream Deck. Use all the keys that you would not normally use and that you know you'll never press in a game. You can use those here. So if you have a number pad or something like that, you can use that because your number keys are registered different than your top row number keys. So little hack right there. Under advanced, honestly, I'm not gonna do anything unless, the one thing I would do here, if I was recording in NKV, I would automatically remux to MP4, so it automatically converted it, but again, I'm just recording directly into MP4, so that's not really a problem for me. Again, if I was doing tournaments, which I've done in the past, if I had to set up a stream delay, this is where I would do that. Yeah, and just read through these settings. Most of these you're likely not gonna need. Maybe the automatic reconnect where it retries, it'll retry to connect in 10 seconds. Maximum amount 20 seconds, you can adjust that if you're gonna have issues with that. And I apologize, it is storming, but we're gonna get through this video. Okay, that is all we gotta do in these settings. So I'm gonna apply all our settings and click OK. All right, now I'm gonna go and create the scenes that I'm going to need. All right, I'm gonna take this scene and I'm just going to rename it by right-clicking, going to rename, and I'm gonna call this full screen. Okay. Now, in addition to full screen, I would also have a game scene and maybe a starting and a be right back. There we go. Those are the scenes that we would actually use. And so I'm gonna start off with our full screen. So the very first thing I'm gonna do on our full screen is I'm gonna capture the camera. So I'm just gonna click our plus button right here, go to video capture device, just like that. I may name this whatever it is. So for me, I'm using a G7. Actually, we may use my C920, which is at a very weird angle right now. All right, let's see if we can get the G7 to work. So I'm just gonna type in G7, so I know what it is because I actually have a G7 here, and I have a C920 kind of up here above me that I just used during my starting screen. Anyway, I'm gonna call this G7 and click OK. And right there, it's already grabbed the camera, so that's perfect. I'm just gonna keep it as device default, but if it looks funny or acts weird, I'll come back and adjust these. So I'll click OK, and there we go. There's my camera. Perfect. Okay, this is exactly how I want it. Okay, now for me, I don't actually want this G7 audio here, so I'm gonna take this and I am going to hide it. And desktop audio, I'll keep there because again, I'm gonna need that. Oh yeah, let's unmute that mic, and now we can see this mic is working. Remember, we set it up earlier, but if for some reason it's still not working, go here to properties, and make sure it is set to your microphone. So if you're using a Yeti, it'll say Yeti or Snowball or or Rode video mic, whatever you have. You can set it right here, just like that. All right, so my mic is working, my camera's working. Okay, so right now we actually have a full screen. This is pretty good. One thing I would do is I would actually adjust my filters just a little bit. So if you click it, if you have the newest version, filters will be right here. But if you don't, right click and go to filters. Here we can go and add some color grading. And so what I would do is I would actually add a color correction, just like this. I'd keep whatever the name is. I would probably bump up my contrast and bump up my saturation just a little bit. And if you look at the image already, I feel like that's done pretty good. Of course, I can adjust my brightness and stuff, but I would likely do all that in camera. But I'm gonna bump maybe my saturation just a bit more. And I'll show you the difference. So there's with no color correction, and there's with. It makes such a big difference. And that is probably all I would need to do, but I could go and add another one. And based on what I have on my main OBS, I have plenty of plugins and stuff installed to add LUTs and stuff like that. Which of course is here, but I can also do color grading and a few different things to it. Maybe one day we'll go through plugins. Let me know in the comments below if you would like to see some of the plugins that I use for my personal setup. But I think for now that looks pretty good, honestly. I would actually, maybe it looks better than what I'm using right now. Maybe I need to go back and fix it. I don't know, but there we go. I think that looks pretty good. So next thing we're gonna do is we're actually going to build some sort of full screen overlay. And I don't know what that is yet. I have not planned any of this out. I wanna do this all live right here for you guys. So we're gonna go and open up Canva. I already have it open right here and Canva. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go create a design. I'm gonna go to presentation because it's 1920 by 1080, which is my resolution, remember? I'm gonna go to presentation. Now, I chose presentation specifically because I fully intend to use one of these templates. I don't want to fully design something myself. I can if I needed to, but I'm really hoping that we can build something ourselves. So first of all, let's think about our brand. What brand are we creating? Now, you would already have your brand. You have your Twitch name and everything. I'm making something up right now. Okay, so my name on Twitch is Dr. Hills, and my cat's name, which is the little Capamon right here, which I made a video about. I'll put it in the card above. His name is Dr. Chills. So why don't we create a stream layout for Dr. Chills? Now, immediately, Dr. Chills, I'm thinking needs to be something pretty chill. You know what I mean? Some nice pastel colors. Doesn't need to be hype and vibrant. We want something that feels a little more, chill, I think is the right word. What about these? These kind of pinks, those oranges and stuff are a little too hype for Dr. Chills. Give me just a moment. Okay, I'm seeing some potential right here with this kind of black background. So let's try this one because that is sort of reminiscent of my heel icon. And yeah, I think we can make something happen with this, right? All right, so let's go right here. Let's just go type into here, just chatting. And maybe we make the word chatting this purple color that's being used, right? Okay. I like it. Make it bold and bump it up in size just a little bit. Something like that I think looks pretty good, right? Okay. Now over here, what do we want? Do we want anything? I don't know. Thunderman. All right, maybe I don't want this, okay? But I'll probably keep these on the screen. I'm gonna make this quite a bit bigger. And honestly, I have no idea if I'm gonna keep this, but this is just an idea I'm gonna roll with right now. I'm gonna go over here to Elements, and I wanna create myself just a box outline. Maybe something like this. And this would just be for chat. If I want to chat on screen, which typically I do not have it, but I know a lot of people like it. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to make it black, and then I'm going to duplicate it. Now, I will say there is more than likely an easier way to do this, but this is where we're at, okay? All right, I'm going to make this one. Sorry, I want to change the color to that color. I want to push it toward the back. And there we go. We have a nice, bold border. But I don't really want a bold border. There we go. We could definitely use something like this. I will say I don't think this is the direction that I want to go. Now that I'm kind of looking at it, I want to go with something a whole lot simpler. And so maybe for my full screen, I'm actually not going to use any of this. except this top part, okay? So I'm just gonna delete all this. And maybe these things I'll keep in there. Okay. And honestly, I'm just playing with an idea right now. So now I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna bring it as even as I can to that line. Drag it over and drag it down. I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna send it all the way to the back. And now I'm going to make it as obnoxious of a green color as I can. There we go. Good, bright, and green. Okay, we're definitely gonna keep these colors for our just chatting. I like that, I think. Part of me even wants to make that smaller, but we're gonna keep it just like that for now. And we always have the option with this to add in that alpha gaming rotating metric, you know, down here or something of that sort. We're gonna go with it like this. So we're just gonna download a PNG. I can do transparent because I have Canva Pro, but if you don't worry about it. That's why we made this green. So I'm not even gonna do it with that. I'll show you how to do it without Canva Pro, but if you want Canva Pro, you can export it as transparent and do a lot of other cool stuff. And I'll have a free trial of that linked down below as well. But let's just go ahead and download this thing and give it just a moment. Take sips of coffee. Okay, let's open OBS back up. Now I'm gonna hit plus and I'm gonna go to image. And this is just gonna be, I'll call it my overlay. Okay, I'm gonna browse and I'm gonna go to my downloads and there's my downloads. Just like that, perfect, exactly. Wait, that's not what I wanted. Now we're gonna right click, we're gonna go to filters, click plus button, and we're gonna go to chroma key, and boom, just like that, all that green is gone, and we got a pretty good looking picture. Now I'll say this, I don't want this to cut my head off, so I'm actually gonna grab my camera and I'm just gonna do a little trick like this. I'm gonna lower me down. And just like that, we have a pretty nice little overlay. We got some stars kind of happening. It's nothing fancy, but it's clean, okay? It's real easy to see what's going on. I could have a little rotating metric right here or up in this bar above me. I could have that very, very easily. Next thing we're gonna need is some alerts. And so this is a lengthy process. So we're gonna go ahead and set up the rest of these scenes and then we'll come back for alerts. And I'll show you how to set up alerts for each individual screen, okay? So let's jump on down to the game scene. And now you'll see nothing, okay. All right, so already our mic is working, which I'm peaking in our mic. If I seen us peaking, I would probably go to, I would go to my filters, and I would add a compressor, just like this. That would probably, yeah, I would probably just leave it just like that. And now this would no longer, hello, would not really be peaking. It's not going all the way red like it was before. Hello, and I have it set up on this one as well, so it shouldn't get too loud and distorted for you guys. There we go, set up your compressor real easy. If your microphone is getting too loud and distorting itself, set up your compressor quick and easy just like that. All right, first I'm gonna go and click plus, and there's a few different ways you can do your game scene. Personally, because I don't just game on my game scene, also will show YouTube videos and we'll do graphic design and stuff in Adobe and in Canva, and yes, we'll play games as well, but that's not always what we do. So I don't do a game capture or even a window capture, because a game capture and a window capture will only capture a specific window. I prefer to just capture everything so you guys can see everything that I'm doing. So specifically, if I wanted to do a specific game, I could do a window capture, and I'll call this, you know, Opera, because that's what I'm using. I'll click it right there and I can capture just Opera, okay? I can choose to capture my cursor or not capture my cursor. That is completely up to you. And there we go. And I can just size it out to full screen. It's not filling up my full screen, which is why it's sized weird right now, but that's how I would do it. That's not how I'm gonna do this, but if you only want to capture just your game scene, you don't want people to see everything else, then that's how you would do it. For me, I'm gonna get rid of that and I'm just going to do a display capture. And right there, that is. Just gonna click display capture and I will just call this main display. Because I just want it to be this screen. I have multiple monitors. I'm just gonna capture this screen for now. So yes, it already grabbed it just right there. Capture cursor, yes, I wanted to do that. And there we go. And so now you guys got the nice OBS inception that I've tried to keep you from the rest of this video. But there it is. So now I have my game scene. The next thing I need is, well, I need a webcam border. So let's just go ahead and try to keep this going. And I will what if we just take this entire thing like we have right here, right? All right, I'm just gonna drag this down. I'm gonna hold down Shift to keep it straight. And I'm gonna put it right about here. I'm gonna drag up this green screen above. And I'm gonna grab this little line, if I can click it. Nope, I don't wanna resize it. Can I drag it down? I'm just hold down Shift, that works. Okay, y'all go with me for just a moment, okay? Okay, I think that bar is lined up roughly how I want it. I'm gonna drag this up out of here. I'm gonna drag this one up out of here. And maybe I make this my rotating metric, or I leave this completely blank because we want to be able to add something in there in StreamElements, and I will show you how to do the StreamElements and stuff, so just hang tight for that. All right, and maybe we do something just like that, okay? So now, again, I'm gonna download. I'm gonna go PNG, and I could do transparent background, but again, I'm just gonna do the green screen so I can show you guys how to do that. All right, once it's done, we're good to go. So I'm just gonna click back over to OBS. I'm gonna click my plus button. I'm gonna go to image, and this will be cam border. And again, you can make this cam border as complex or as simple as you would like. I believe I have videos on how to do like the round cam and stuff like that. So if that's what you wanna do, there are definitely options for that. Did I not download this? Oh, I might have downloaded the wrong image. My bad, 1 second. Download. Make sure when you click PNG that you click page 2 and then download it. All right, now back to OBS. Now I already have the cam border created. I'll delete it just so you can see. All right, plus, image, cam, border, just like that. Okay, browse, and choose that one, that new one right there. Just like that. And that's definitely not the size I want my webcam, so I'm gonna resize this down to about the size that I'm gonna want the webcam. That looks pretty good to me right there. And so what I'm gonna do, right click again, filters, and we're just gonna add that chroma key filter. One thing that's kind of cool is the way we have this set up. If we wanted to change any of the colors, we should be able to go to color correction and adjust the hue. And you can kind of see where we're changing the colors of pretty much everything that is not white. Now, one thing we could do if we had the motion plugin is we could actually have this constantly kind of cycling through so that those are changing colors while we're streaming. Beyond the scope of this video, but that would be pretty cool. All right, so there we go. We have that, and you're like, hey, where's your face? Good question. So we're gonna click that plus button. We're gonna video capture device. We don't need to add a new one because we already have it right here, and we have our color correction on it. So let's just grab that one and size it way on down. And I'm gonna show you guys a trick real quick. Now, y'all don't go telling everybody about this because this one is magic, and you probably didn't even know that you could do this, but this is OBS Hacks 101, okay? I'm gonna put this behind there, and you're like, that wasn't that impressive, wait for it, okay? You're gonna right click, preview scaling, and you're gonna go to canvas. And you're gonna break literally everything. What just happened? Oh, I see, okay. And you're gonna be really confused at what's going on, but you're gonna press your space bar, okay? And you're gonna drag it over, and now look at that. And you're gonna hold down your spacebar and you can zoom in, and now you can get your picture, you can get your camera placed perfectly. Absolutely perfect. And what I'm gonna do here, because I don't want my camera to be tiny, is I'm actually gonna hold down Alt and crop this right side in just a little bit, rather than making the camera even smaller. So I'm gonna hold down space, and I'm gonna zoom in a little more, and I'm gonna look on this side. I'm gonna click off. That actually looks pretty good. What about this side? That looks pretty good as well. So now I'm just gonna right click, go back to preview scaling, and go back to scale to window. And that is just about perfect. And yeah, so I'm actually going to make this one just a touch bigger because I want these images. Let's see, preview scaling. And a lot of this is just gonna be doing adjustments, but I want these images sort of at the top if I can get them. So Alt, I'll drag that back out. So I guess I lied about doing it like that. And I can bring my camera down almost to the bottom of this, and it kind of gets these little images up around the top. And yeah, there we go. And we could, again, we're gonna add something in StreamElements down here that at least shows, you know, latest follow or something of that sort. So right click, preview scaling, back to scale to window, and hey, we have a game scene. It really doesn't have to be more complicated than this. Yes, I mean, I have Dr. Chills here and all kinds of other stuff, but it really doesn't have to be that complicated. This is it, this is done. But we can add alerts, we can add our, newest follower or whatever else we want. We can add that, and of course we will. But first, let's go ahead and get our starting soon screen. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to our templates, and I'm gonna look through, actually I'm gonna create a whole new document real quick, or sorry, I had to copy. I'm gonna create a whole new document right here, and I'm gonna look at what they have here. I would like to keep this branding going, and we will actually. We'll just keep this right here. Just like that, we will say, something like that, okay? And now we're going to say, I want this to just say just, and I'll captcha bot. Or ooh, what if we go actually lowercase? That might look good actually. And enter that down. Oh, what am I doing? This is a starting soon screen. All right, so we're gonna have to say starting. Something like that. I don't think we want this quote. But actually, okay, what I would do here is I would do some of my key, oh, what is that? Go away. Some of my key commands. I usually put them in my title, but I could do something like this. If I have a sub command, I could put !sub just to prompt people to type in !sub and to see what I have to offer them. So there we go. We'll type that in, just something like that, make it a little bit big. All right, now we're going to actually want just this to be smaller if I can. That way I can make it big like this. Center it, roughly something like that. I feel like that looks pretty good. I'm trying to decide if I want it. I'm gonna bring that line height in a little bit. I don't know if I want it uppercase or lowercase, so let's try both ways. Start soon. I think I like uppercase better actually. So I'm gonna increase that just a little bit for uppercase. Make sure it's centered, bring it around here. And this line is here, and I know that we can do a little bit of animation, so let's do some animation into this one. But keep this ID, and I'm gonna spread these out so they're not super close. So now we're gonna go over here to elements, and I'm gonna go line sticker. Sticker usually always brings up your animations, and I'm hoping to find something like that that's like a scribble. And maybe we should, what about that one? Will you do anything with this? Yeah, something like that looks pretty good, I think. Okay, oh, there's more here. Can I do a black line? Let's just say black line sticker. There we go. Literally exact same thing that we have on the other side. We can have right here. And we just want it to be kind of subtly there. Let's watch it. That's not subtle at all. Well, all right. Let's zoom out further than I meant to. About 50%. Okay, go a little like this, and let's make it a little smaller. Okay, and I want, I don't know why this is doing that, but I want that kind of back there like that. And I also want this one in the back, just like that. Okay, there we go. We have something pretty cool. I want to actually make this text white. And yeah, hey, that works. If I have a logo or something, maybe I throw the logo in there, but that's good enough for me. PDF is not gonna work, so I need it to be a video, but why don't we try, actually let's do an MP4 video. That'll be the most common way. Page 3 only, and hit download. All right, now that we have that complete, let's jump over here to OBS, hit our plus button. We're going to, because this is a video, it's an MP4 and not an image, we are actually not gonna click image. We're going to go to media source. Media source will say SS for starting soon. I'm gonna go to browse. I'm gonna find it right here, and I need to make sure it is looped because I want it to keep playing, okay? And click OK. And there we go. We have a starting soon screen in a matter of seconds, okay? So there we go. I'm gonna go to be right back, and I honestly don't get very creative here. I'm gonna do the same thing. Okay, and whatever your starting soon screen is, just make it the same. You can do the same with your ending screen if you have one. I don't personally use an ending screen, but I know people do. So let's download that, and that will be page 3 again. And if you're smart, you would have named these, but hey, why waste our time with silly things like naming? All right, so let's go ahead and download this one. Change it from PDF and change it to MP4. go down all pages, just page 3, click done, and click download. Okay, and now that that is complete, we're just gonna go back to OBS. Same thing as before, hit the plus sign. We're going to add in a media source. This is gonna be a BRB for Be Right Back. I'm gonna click, oh, it's already in use. Oh, darn me. Just Be Back, or whatever you wanna call it. That's up to you. Browse, and find the one that says Be Right Back. Make sure you hit loop, click OK, and there we go. Now personally, I mute my microphones on these scenes because I don't want people to hear me or hear whatever I'm doing, you know? So there we go. We have our full screen. We have our game scene. We have our starting soon screen. We have our Be Right Back. Okay, now, last thing we're gonna make, and this will be it for this video. If you wanna see how to do all the StreamElements things that we're gonna add in and kind of pretty things up, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because in the next video, we're gonna do a part 2 to this one. We're gonna set up all the StreamElements stuff, so all the alerts and all the new follower things and the sub goals and stuff like that. We're gonna do all that in the next video, so make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that one. But real quick, let's knock out a quick Twitch transition, which I have a full video on how to do this. If you want to see that video, I'll have it down below or in the card above, okay? So all we're gonna do now is I'm just gonna create a whole new document just for that transition. I'm gonna try to remember that branding that we had there. So actually I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go create a design. I'm gonna go presentation, just so I can find that template again, because I want those colors back. Right there's the whole template. Okay, so I've got to figure out how I want this transition to come in. I want it to come into a black screen, something to happen, maybe a logo to show, or it to say something like Dr. Chills, and then go back away. So what we're gonna do is our first screen will just be a black screen. And the very first thing that's gonna happen is it's gonna go to black, okay? And this will be very quick. Black, we're gonna click add page. We'll actually just duplicate this page. And then I'm going to throw this one on it because I really liked these. I'm going to delete these. I'm going to say Dr. Chills. I'm spelling his name like that, okay? Don't at me. And I actually want it all on the same line. So stretch that back out. Okay, we're gonna delete this because this stuff is not really necessary in a transition. Oh my goodness, there we go. Delete that, move these up here, move these here, move these here. Okay, something like this. I'm gonna alt drag and all, because I wanna make a copy of this one. I'm gonna add it at a little bit of an angle, you know, something just kind of cool and chill like that. Looks really good to me. Now I wanna add some sort of animation that's going on. So I'm gonna go to my elements. I'm just gonna type in sticker. Okay, what about if man, I wish we could add something to this. All right, I'm gonna keep that for just a moment as a potential, wait, is it in white? Do I have it in white or purple? Okay, it's fine. Then I want something kind of moving in the background. What if I did like these squiggly lines? Oh, nope. How do I get the squiggly lines? All right, I'm gonna click this. I'm gonna position it backwards just so I can click on the squiggly lines. I'm gonna drag. I'm gonna make a couple copies of these. And it looks chaotic, and it likely will be. Okay, just let's just bear with it for a moment and see how it looks when it's done. Okay. And then, so now I'm going to create a whole new page, and I think Opera is struggling with everything that's happening right now, which is odd. It doesn't normally do that, but you know, I'm not gonna fault it. We're gonna take our timing down to maybe half a second each. There we go. We'll go with that one. Okay, also want these to make sure they're in the back. Man, Opera is struggling, I will say that. And if your browser does this, let me know in the comments down below, because I've never seen it do this before. Okay. There we go. Now under animate, I do want it to come in How do I want it to come in? I kind of like pop usually, but scrapbook seems like it might be kind of cool the way everything just happened. Yeah, so let's keep it scrapbook for now. And I don't really, there's no way to, that's one thing I don't like about when I do a presentation is there's no way to view it back. And so we're just gonna try it out. I'm gonna try it out in faith and think that it works pretty good. So I'm just gonna export it as an MP4. And we just want all pages this time, and I'm gonna click download. So that little process we just did is essentially how you create a transition in Canva. You go, and actually I lied to you, I'm gonna cancel this. I don't need this last black screen. I think when I thought I did originally, but whenever I tested it out and made that first video, it looked better without the black screen. So I'm just gonna click MP4, both pages, and click download. And really it's just going to go to a black screen. It's going to, scrapbook into that next part and then back to whatever scene you're in. And I'll show you how to set that up in OBS. Okay, so just like that, it is done, it is downloaded. So I'm gonna click back to OBS. I'm gonna go into my transition. I'm gonna click this little settings cog right here. Or I apologize, I'm gonna click this fade and I'm going to add stinger. This is gonna be a stinger transition. So add stinger, and this will be, I'm just gonna call it, no, we'll call it Dr. Chill's transition. There we go. Click OK, browse, find where it is, and then you're gonna guess at when the transition needs to happen. It's, what was it, 1 second in, half a second in? So I'm gonna try 700 milliseconds. If I had sound or whatever, I could turn monitor on just so I could hear it. I don't, so I'm just gonna click OK. And now we're gonna test it out. We're gonna go to our game scene. And everything is very too long, so let's go back and check something. Yes, okay, so this still is at 5 seconds. And if you remember, we changed this, so I'm not sure what happened. Let's make sure we take this back down to about half a second each. You really don't want a transition ever be longer than 2 seconds. That is very long. Okay, and it's at 6 seconds for some reason. So let's, I'm gonna change this down to, well, if I can get a hold of it, we will. All right, let's go to 1 second because I do kind of feel like that needs to play a little longer. So this one's half a second, which may be a little too long. Let's go to like 0.3 of a second. And then this lasts for 1 second and then it's gone. Okay, let's try that. Let's just download it now. Again, we're gonna download as an MP4 and download. Okay, now that one is downloaded. We're gonna click OBS and I'm gonna go to my Dr. Chill's transition, which I already created, but now I've got to edit it. So I'm gonna click that and I'm gonna go to properties and I'm gonna browse and I'm gonna change it to this one, okay? We'll keep all those settings, just see if it works and go to our Be Right Back screen. That was pretty good, I think. I mean, let's see. There we go. I mean, I think it's pretty good. You can go in and tweak it and speed it up and fix a few things if you'd like. But I mean, it feels pretty good. It feels pretty fluid. So let's do a quick review. This is our full screen. This is our game scene. This is our starting soon. And of course, our Be Right Back. Really, I've been working on this video for 44 minutes. Now, it might take you a little longer because you're gonna sit down and you're really gonna mess with things and you're gonna tweak it and you're gonna build your brand out perfectly, but you can have an incredible looking stream in a short period of time using templates in Canva and just knocking some really cool stuff out. I'm really excited to see what you guys come up with. So if you do use this tutorial to build out your entire stream, do me a favor and let me know down below and join the Discord and be sure to post all the cool stuff that you made in the Share Your Art category. We're always looking to check out new stuff and see what you guys created. But hey guys, if you're not already, be sure to follow me over on Twitch. Again, I stream late at night every Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Come hang out, we'll play some games together, we'll talk about some art and streaming and just have a good old time. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss part 2. Where we're gonna be building out all of the StreamElements stuff, and we're gonna be adding in all the little extra details and stuff like that to make this thing really pop off and really make it unique. Guys, I appreciate you so much. You guys keep killing it, and I'll see y'all next time. Come on, come on. No!